Does anybody know what the vanishing point is? What I'm talking about? You have any idea what I mean by vanishing point?
Is it
Okay, so
that
your
point
first
in-
assignment, what, go ahead.
I was gonna say that point in the horizon. maybe?
Yeah. So if you remember, as little kids, we learned to draw, most of us, I think, learned to draw a road like this, right?
Mhm.
You learn to like draw. Did you guys, is there anybody who did not learn to do this when you were young?
I never.
I never did that either.
You never, nobody ever showed you how to do this?
No.
Wow. So this is like, so did you learn how to do the cube?
The cube, yes, I've seen that.
Yes, but you did not learn how to do the road.
That's the problem. I didn't learn anything. I feel like they just threw us to the wolves, and that's why I
They
hated
did not.
drawing.
All right. Well, so this is the classic. So we're going to start. I want you to start with pencil and just regular paper. We're going to start with like pencil and regular paper. I'm going to have you draw this, but I want to talk to you about what is happening here before we do, because it's of course the same thing that's happening here. So one of the things, and I love vanishing point because once I learned it, it made it very easy to make sure my lines were all, my angles were all going in the right direction, right? In the right place. So here's the rule about vanishing points. For every horizontal line that's going away from you, to convey a sense, we know, right, that the road here is really not different in size than the road here, right? We know that, but it looks different because as things go away from us, they get smaller. And because we are not working in 3 dimensions, we're working on a flat surface. The other thing we know is that this rose does not actually rise up, right, off the ground. But to show it going away from us, we need to make it rise up. So the key of this lesson is that everything that's in the kind of same plane, all the horizontal lines that are moving away from us, they all go to the same point, which is the vanishing point. They all go here to the same point. So what is helpful about this? It's helpful, and that means the tops, these like the top of this, the wires on either side here, right? The tops of this, the bottom of this, the sides of the roads, even these little things which get everything ends. It starts at a different place. The angles are not the same, but they all go to the same point. Right? They all narrow down to the same point, the vanishing point. The vanishing point is at the place we call the eye level or horizon line. And when you've got an unobstructed view like this, that basically means it's where the sky meets the land. Can you see that? So there's a point where everything gets so skinny you can't see any farther. That's the vanishing point. It is often like if you're standing back here, right, looking down, it's where your eye level is. It's where you are looking straight ahead. So the eye it's called, and we have cone vision. So that's why this happens. So everything, all of these lines, every single one of them goes to this same point. Can you see how that might be helpful? So when I'm sketching, if I know my horizon line is here, right, and my vanishing point is here, I know that wherever my road, the 2 lines of my road both go here. This middle line, right, goes straight up. And this line here may start here, but it's going to end there at that vanishing point. So is this, so is this top one. Everything is going to the same vanishing point. On this side, this line here starts at a different location, right, on the edge here, but it goes to this point. So when you're sketching, your lines, no matter where they start, they all go to the same point. And the other thing to know about this like type of drawing is that your horizontal lines all go, right? These ones, the horizontal lines, all go to the vanishing point, but the vertical lines go straight up and down, all of them. So these vertical lines are all straight. See that? That means these lines are not parallel. They don't, that the biggest mistake people make is they try to draw these lines parallel. They are not parallel. These lines are all just exactly straight up and down.
Didn't we draw this before?
You might have drawn, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
sure,
I think it was this
Oh.
exact same one, yeah.
of course, but
I
not
did
every,
my
oh,
class.
did I have you and
Good.
Jonathan, did I have you guys do it?
No.
I've done it, but that's all right. I
Yeah,
only
of course you
practice.
have, Paul, but can you do it? Like, I think it's time.
I
for
wasn't very
you to
good,
do.
so I mean, it wasn't perfect, let's put it that way.
You'll need, you know, you still need to understand it, right?
Yeah, I don't think
And
I
these
grasped it.
horizon lines, these lines, so the lines that are heading away from us, they all go towards a vanishing point. The horizon line is flat, so are these horizontal lines. Right? So when you're sketching out, this scene, which I'm going to have you do, you're going to start by, first off, identifying your horizon line here, right? And then putting your vanishing point kind of in the middle of it. And then if you want to, you can kind of block it off here and here, right? If you want to, you can give yourself a top and a bottom so you know where it starts and where it ends. And then you'll see, I can see that this line starts here. Not on the edge, but kind of a little bit in from the edge, right? And I know it ends here. I can look at this line and see, starts in even a little bit farther from the edge here, right? If you want to, you can totally use a ruler to do this. So the hardest work for you all is going to be determining where these all start. I can see this one starts kind of above, up from the bottom here. And it goes, but it goes to the same place. I can see there's another one here and another one here. And if I locate the edges, it's actually not that hard, right? And then my vertical lines will go straight up and down. And one of the ways I can check my vertical lines is to basically line up the edge of my ruler with the edge of, so it's not, so some people struggle to get, they'll make their lines kind of automatically lean like this, right? It's easy to make that mistake because you're kind of leaning towards it. You don't want to do that. You want to line your ruler up so that it's completely flat across the bottom edge, and then you know your lines are vertical. Just keep moving up and up. So I want you guys to try it. I want you to try and draw this here on your paper, big or small. Notice that these get closer together, right? As we get closer in. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Even though there really isn't technically a line here, I can draw one to keep a kind of envelope of shape. So I can see here. Hold on. Put this over a little bit so you can see what's happening on the other side here. Here I can see that once again, this line, come on, there we go. Starts about here, right? Here's the edge. And so I can draw that to here. So I can draw this line even if I'm gonna have to erase it later. And then I can see that these two lines kind of start here and here. But they're all gonna go to the same place, all these horizontal lines. See, I didn't even lift my ruler up on both sides. Once I get these lines in, and this one goes straight down. But you'll notice it gets kind of wider as it gets closer to us and kind of narrower and shorter as it gets farther away. Once I do this, all right, once again, I can draw my verticals a little bit farther spaced each time. Usually these are about half. The space between here and here is about half the distance between here and here. So if you can see this, you can see that if I measure the distance as I'm doing with my pencil here, like this, and I come here, it's about half. So you can half the distance each time. I'm going to stop mine here, I guess. So this is the first thing we're going to do. Notice as everything goes further away from us, start with this construction, and then we'll go on to the others here. Put that up just a little bit. Can everybody see that? I also sent this across the thread. So if you're having trouble seeing it, you can look at it on the thread, but I think you should be able to look up once you draw this line, and then we'll add these other pieces in. By the way, why are these clouds dark at the bottom?
It's the lights coming from the upper right.
Yeah,
right?
it's the daytime, right? So
Yeah.
the sun is on the top, which means the clouds on the top are dark. And look at how nicely this shading kind of creates this feeling of depth, right? The sides of the cloud, the bottom of the cloud and the top of the cloud. When we get to painting clouds, are there any clouds? Oh yeah, there's a few in here, although kind of less dramatic. Does this make sense? Does this seem kind of logical to you guys? It's helpful, isn't it? It's a lot less work than trying to guess each angle. And I'm not sure I like, if I was going to do this over again, I might scoot this up a little bit. Might make this the top. Nope. Right? So I could do this and I don't know, turn this into grass or something. So this is really key rule. If you can get this, you'll be able to get angles right on everything. That's what people really struggle with when they're drawing perspective. You do need to kind of left brain learn the rules so that the right brain can make the translation. How's everybody doing, by the way? What's the haps?
I don't know. Diana was just texting me. I was like, I'm in art class, Diana.
Where's she?
I don't know. She said, I forgot there's too much to do right now. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah. But wait, isn't your first? Oh, I guess we're coming up on June, aren't we?
Yeah, well, and it's still locking in the honorees. We still have to do that.
We're at the halfway point between the last awards and the next awards, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Lisa, can I ask you a question about the awards?
Yeah.
I was submitting for a couple of columnists, and
Mhm.
in the columnist category, where you're able to upload up to 3 articles,
Mhm.
I couldn't figure out how to do that. Was only able to upload 1, so I only uploaded 1 for them, and I was thinking that maybe after I uploaded 1, there would be like a prompt to upload the additional ones, but there wasn't.
That's a question for Diana. I have no idea, but
Okay.
I'm sure if you just email her, diana@lapressclub.org, I'm sure
Okay.
she will answer.
Okay, thanks.
What categories, Jonathan?
It was just a columnist of the year. Of course, it was like my responsibility to have to enter everybody else's, you know.
Which is, I hope you entered some of your own creative designs and stuff.
Well, I wasn't really eligible for anything, so I don't enter my own stuff.
That's so funny.
So that's fine.
Yeah, Diana changed some things around and I actually couldn't, I had a story I wanted to enter and I couldn't really find a place for it. Because she's changed categories, but yeah, tomorrow's the real deadline. It keeps getting extended, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow is the deadline.
Oh, that's why she's so busy.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yes.
Before I learned about the vanishing point, I spent a lot of time trying to measure angles of constructed things. It was really a pain in the ass. I knew these horizontal lines weren't parallel, but I would measure each one. If you see, right, this angle is not the same as this angle, because otherwise they would be parallel otherwise, right? They are not the same. So this is steeper. That really, it's kind of the higher you go, look up, the steeper the angle is. And oh, one other thing about the vanishing point, guys, let me make this clear right now. And this may seem obvious, but it's also true that like everything above the horizon line goes down to the vanishing point. Everything below the eye level horizon, this line, goes up. Helpful. Anyways, once I realized, oh my God, I can totally find the vanishing point. I only have to figure out where these angles start. And all my paintings go through this process where they have kind of lines going everywhere, trying to make sure I get them all in the right place. I'm trying to see, I have a painting now. Well, I can't show you because I'll take a picture of it later. I have a painting that's in process now where you will see, where I can show you that my vanishing lines are still in because I haven't gotten rid of them all yet. And you'll see it's very useful. Like it's used all the time. I use it all the time. By the way, guys, I'm really enjoying teaching this class so much. I think it's so much fun. Oh, I see somebody has since.
You're
Whatever.
a fun teacher, Leah.
You are.
Thank you. But I
Teacher.
really love this class because it's not my forte, right? It's not the thing that's easiest for me. So I actually am learning myself. As we go along. It's fun.
The vertical lines on the fence are parallel, right?
They are straight up and down.
Yeah.
Yes, they're parallel to each other.
Yes. Okay.
All the vertical lines. So the horizontal lines are all angled. All the vertical lines going away from us are straight up and down. When you all think you've gotten to this point, send it across. How was everybody's day?
Okay.
Okay. let's
Yeah,
see.
I've just got allergies or something. I'm just a little
Oh,
miserable.
the
But
allergies are going to be so bad this year because of all the rain
all
and
the rain.
vegetation.
I know.
Oh my
Well,
God.
one
Oh.
doctor told me he doesn't think I have allergies, so I don't know.
Okay.
Sinus infection or something, but anyway, I'm a little fed
So,
up. and
Paula?
groggy.
I want you to redraw
Mhm.
your fence here.
On the left side.
Yep. Because you started it down here.
Okay. I knew it looked a little discombobulated.
Bring it up.
Bring it up.
Bring these three dots up. Yeah, so just erase it. Everything else looks good, but yeah.
Thank
So
you.
where it starts is important, right?
So it has to be like halfway. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Halfway between, the middle is probably about halfway between here and the
Mhm.
horizon line. It's an easy fix though.
Oh, all right.
I'm almost there, Leah. Give me 2 minutes.
Awesome. Well, I hope I get to be a judge this year. I had fun.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's usually because we judge other clubs and it's usually interesting, to see what other people are writing about. You see some, you read stuff you would never read otherwise.
Exactly. And I got to do all the art and design articles, which were really interesting.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna send mine over.
Okay. Paul, can you turn it the right way? Get in there and turn it the right way. So Lisa, you did the same thing.
But
In fact, you did it on both sides.
Okay.
Paul, I want you to turn yours upside down. You started your fence way too low. The fence starts up here. It doesn't start down here. You started your fence down here. See that?
okay,
So
yeah.
you need to erase the fence. And you also did that here. This doesn't start until here. You had it start. So basically what you did is you made all your lines start at the corners. Where these start is important. Paying attention to that. So you need to start this line here. So erase the bottom here. Start this angle line here, not down here.
I don't know if you can see mine. The pencil lines are very faint.
Did you send it, Jonathan?
I just sent it.
Okay, let me see. And Paul, I want you to flip yours around if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So actually, right side. There should be a function there for you to be able to do that.
I sent it over like just
Okay.
right.
Jonathan, there you go. Excellent. It's good, isn't it? It's excellent. It's like perfect. All right. So, and Paul, there we go. Yes. So Paul, yours is good. Okay, so Paul, you actually started if you look at where this line starts and ends, it starts here. You started yours down here. Right on the bottom edge.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
We erased the bottom.
I did that last time too. I always.
Yeah, so clearly, and Jonathan, the other thing I would do, and I don't know if you noticed, I kind of did this myself. Oh, sorry, Paul, this is more for you. Bring this up a little bit too. So if your fence is feeling a little bit too, the angle is too wide, it means that this has to come up a little bit higher. And Jonathan, I want to see if yours did that too. I was just seeing yours looks pretty good. All right, so Jonathan can go on and you guys can go on too. I want to show you the next steps of this. notice that there are actually two horizon lines. There is the eye level horizon where the land meets the kind of back plains. And then there's this little mountain range, which is what they call the natural horizon. The natural horizon often rises above the eye level horizon. And then really we've just got these clouds in the sky. So I just want you to sketch those in and shade them. Yeah. And if you finish this, I'd like you to add a little bit more detail to these fence posts. You know, you can see them a little bit. They're a little bit thicker here. They get thinner here. Maybe add an extra detail. I was adding in some grasses just to hide my initial line, since I'm working with something I can't. I'm working with something I can't like erase with, so. I love this artist whose book we're using. It's called Painting Light and Shadows. I really love his work. And so I'll show you in case you want to get the book yourself. There's a lot going on here. What did I do with this book? I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Really pretty. I like the color.
Mhm. We'll get there. Look at this. He has a really strong sense of light and shadow.
Mm.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till you see his people. Look at this exercise. This is really neat. It's a person painted 3 different ways. Same person,
Wow.
a little bit.
That is cool.
Isn't that neat? Using light and shadow. I just feel like he's a very dramatic painter. You know, he really uses white space effectively. This one.
Is that a Monet?
No, it's his work, honey.
Oh.
Renee
Okay.
doesn't- Hello, pay attention.
Yeah, I thought the first one was his and then the second one you're showing
No,
me.
no,
I guess not.
look at that. Look at how few facial features there are
Oh,
and how much detail and depth is in that. Do you see that? See how simple?
so gorgeous.
Yeah. It's very, very good. Oh, look at this one. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Talk about, this is why we're studying him with him. He really, really has. This is a wonderful book. And I found several. But this is my absolute favorite. Painting light and shadow in watercolor. I'll send it over before the end of class, so if you want to get it.
So was Monet mostly watercolor, in other words, or
No, Monet wasn't watercolor at all.
oh, okay.
Well. I mean, maybe he did studies or something, but no, he's not really a watercolorist. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I just saw something come up. Okay, you still, Lisa, haven't brought this up on this side. Do you see that? Do you see where your problem is?
I do, but I swear to you, it's
You
not, it's not right at the corner. It's up a little.
It's not up high enough.
All right.
It's up, look at how high it is. You put it here. There's a big difference. You put it here. There's a big difference between here and here.
Okay.
And I want you to start paying attention to those differences because they'll make a difference in your angles. They'll make a difference in the reality. Like, although the ending point is the same, the starting point for these lines is very important to get reality, you know, to get realism. Like, by the way, you guys, your iris flowers were so fucking good. Anybody see that? So good. So, so good. I've been showing all the students all week what you guys did in your last class. And Lisa, I know you didn't get to do the second session, but I still feel like your flower was beautiful. Every one of you did really great. And it was really super hard. Paul, I have to say your flower, that little purple splash, kind of pinky purple splash you put in at the very end was like, it just completely tied it together.
I'm looking at it now. When I looked at it the second time, it looked like this. It looked like a skull. It was weird. It was like,
It's really wonderful. They were wonderful. I want you guys to know, like, I thought we were way in over our head. I was like, oh my God, but everybody pulled it off. And I was like, just so impressed. It was absolutely extraordinary. The work you all did. Yeah, Lisa, if you have a time to do the video for the second, I think you'd really like it. And Jonathan, now I know what your friends say. Mean when they say your color, your color, like your colorness comes out.
Yeah, I'm kind of, I like bright colors and in the way, in clothing and everything.
And I appreciate you guys kind of sticking with me in these muted things for now. We're gonna go very bright. I
No,
promise.
I actually like doing it, I just like trying different things.
And it helps to to learn to equate color to value, right? It can be overwhelming trying to judge whether a color is lighter or darker than another color.
Yeah.
It's easier to work in kind of grays and blacks and whites at first. Let's see. Lisa, do you see the difference when you move it up higher?
Sorry, my dog was barking. Yeah, let me send it to you again.
And also, it's an easy fix, right? That's what's nice about this. You just have to move the line up, the starting point up, erase the first line and draw in the new one. Let's see. All right, if you're done.
Sorry, I cut off the side of my.
Fantastic, Jonathan. Great. Let's see. Better, Lisa. I want you to make your lines a little bit better. And I want you to, it looks to me like these lines here are not straight up and down. They look like they're leaning. In fact, most of the lines look a little bit like they're leaning a little bit. I would check those.
Okay.
But I want you to finish this drawing. Okay. Let's see. Good, Paula. Very good. Nice. Paula, can you see that there are way more lines here as we get into this section?
The ones going up and down.
Yeah, straight up and down. There's more telephone poles as we move further away.
Okay, so put a
So
couple.
add in a few, like a couple more here in this last section. Otherwise that, and I want your shadows too. You don't have your shadows in
On the clouds.
on the clouds, so put your shadows in.
Okay.
Good job. Good job, though. This looks great. I mean, it's a perfect road scene. If you show it to anyone, they'll be like, oh my God, you just drew a road, like going, you just drew a little landscape.
I'm gonna send it to you, Leia, and I want you to tell me if you think it looks like a skull, like a purple skull, and like that mouth area is like
Okay. Let's see. I think it's really beautiful. It doesn't make me think of a skull. Well, maybe I don't know. It really doesn't. I need you to turn your drawing the right way.
Oh, again, okay.
Also, you need to add shadows on your clouds, please. Also, you need more telephone poles. I love this. Listen to this. He's writing about light. I'm going to read from this book. Light comes in a full spectrum of hues. Just west of my home in Mount Airy, Maryland, are the Blue Ridge Mountains. The mountains of Albuquerque are called Sandia, which means watermelon because of their bright red color. Purple Mountain's majesty, a line from America the Beautiful, refers to the color of distant mountains. I have seen all these places and know that none of them are blue, purple, or red. It reminds me of the first grader who was told by his teacher not to leave a space between the sky and the grass because they actually touch. The boy responded, "I've been there and they don't."
That's so cute.
Been there and they don't. Oh my God, that's so funny. Maybe my new favorite phrase. I've been there and they do not. Not. Which shows you the real truth. I mean, the first graders teach speaking the truth, but if you're trying to translate it onto flat surface, they do touch.
Mhm.
All right. We're gonna spend 5 more minutes on this exercise. And then I'm gonna talk about, we're gonna look at the painting. We're gonna finish up. Oh. I'll be right back. I need to get a charger for my phone.
Because, I mean, I can just say good enough.
Yeah.
La, 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 la.
So with all the rain you guys are having out there in California, you probably will have that super bloom again at that Antelope Valley, right? Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah, up in, where is it? Up in, Palmdale?
Where did you?
Yeah, the Antelope Valley Poppy Preserve, I guess it's called.
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
have it
God, that
there
sounds
in
amazing.
Borrego
So
Springs. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
coming up pretty soon. It'll be there.
My brother lived in LA on Mount Washington. He just recently moved to Palm Springs, but that one year I visited him and they had that super bloom. I've never seen anything. As far as the eye can see, poppies, all those orange and yellow flowers are unbelievable.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
In the old days, I used to go wine tasting, up in like, where was it, like Fresno, Bakersfield, and they would come back and go see the poppies.
I think we did that too.
Oh, did
I think that was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wine tasting, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds lovely.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the best days of my life. It's just unbelievable how beautiful that was.
All right. I think the lesson has been learned.
Mhm.
Let's see how it translates. And actually, I just do with that. Oh, here it is. I want you to look at this in color so you know what, it's a little hard to tell what some of the things are in the black and white. So I want to show you this in color. Here. Chapter 8. Here's the color version. Here, come down a little bit. You have it in your thing as well. There is, in fact, I'm going to come even lower. There's this is like like this last sketch that we did. We have a fence. Can you guys see that?
Mhm.
There's a fence.
Is there anything connecting those poles, or are they just like single poles?
The fence, not really. There isn't really anything connecting them.
Okay.
It's very loose. This is a little white sign. Here is a little bit of a center line. Here are the telephone poles with tiny little dark lines, right? Here is that far. Here is the natural horizon, right? And here is here is the eye level horizon here. And here is the natural horizon here. So we've got a lot of things that are very similar to our drawing, and there some things are a little bit hard to see. So I'm gonna hold on, got this like blown up a little bit. So when we're sketching, we're gonna start with a pencil sketch, and try this. You'll notice the road doesn't actually go all the way to the vanishing point. The vanishing point we would find by connecting these two. The vanishing point is right here. I don't think that's easy to see here. Hold on. Where are you, my markers? Sorry, I'm looking for markers. Oh, maybe this is easier to see. Maybe white. Give me just a second. I'm looking for. There we go. You'll see here. Can you see that? There we go. That the road doesn't actually. I think there's a little dip down or something, like the road ends here and goes down. We can't actually see it, but if we continued our lines to here, this is the vanishing point. Okay, right here. So once again, all these lines are gonna go to the vanishing point. Same with the fence. Bottom. And top. And the same at the side of the road here. And then there's a fair amount of white space, so I'm going to try and sketch it here in the road. Here's where this guy is a master. These shapes are all no color at all. Oh, look, he's even got a little bit of reflection here. Wow. I don't want to get too much into the detail. I'm just showing you where the white areas are. There's kind of a white area here.
Is it raining? Is that, it's like, it looks like it's raining.
I don't think, maybe, I don't know. I don't see rain. There's no rain in the painting. So. I'm going to take a picture of this. So you can really see. This is a slightly more meandering road here. Sorry, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a picture and send it across WhatsApp. So you can refer to this. All right. Yep. With these kind of initial vanishing point lines. There you go. Now I'm going to open this back up again. Let's see. Now. So I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to take my watercolor paper down here.
So we're going to use watercolor paper now?
Yes, now we're going to use watercolor paper because we're going to sketch this. We're going to paint this in watercolor.
Okay.
We're going to start with a pencil drawing. Whoops, I think we always do. That looks very, oh, I see. No, wait, other way. There we go. So I'm going to start with a pencil drawing. I can see that my road on this side starts up here. And I can see that my road on this side starts over here. Sorry, guys, it's still a little, why are you, there we go, a little bit better. Picture's a little bit wonky today. You see how I'm identifying, and then as well, let's see. My vanishing point is like 1, 2, about a third. A little bit more than a third of the way up the page. 1, 2. Yeah. My vanishing point is here. My eye level horizon, which is this line, is here. You see this? Why is this looking? I don't understand why this is here. Oh. There we go. That looks a little straighter. So I've got a pencil mark here and here. I've put my horizon down line is definitely below the halfway point, right? Yeah. About, if I were to go all the way up the paper, about 1/3 of the way. And then it's kind of a slightly meandering road. It goes like this. And it ends about here. I can draw this little triangle in though. It's a little bit more straightforward. There. And then the other lines. Here, I'm gonna mark these with the brighter color so you can see it against the dark. Here's where these lines start and end. This one here, like this one up here. Right, so I'm gonna start, even though the fence doesn't start till about here, I'm gonna begin my line here. And it has to come up farther. It's pretty close. I'll start by putting this mark here. Here's the top of the fence. Here's the bottom of the fence. It's not far from the horizon line. And then once again, and I'll stop after this so you guys can catch up. I can use this line. And if I want to as well, I can come up here because these telephone poles rise above and the lines rise above the horizon, the vanishing point. They're going to go down. Later, we can add in the tree in the background, but we'll start with those. No, that's not gonna work. I'll make it better. Here. There we go. These are our first lines we're sketching. When you think you've got these, send them over for me to take a look. And is anybody finding this easier the second time around?
Not really.
Not really.
I don't know. All right, I'll send mine over because I'm not sure what the heck I'm doing here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what's there.
I normally notice when you're not so sure, Paula, you're usually doing pretty good.
Yeah,
You're fighting with
I don't know if you can see the
the
line.
fact that you know the sky and the sun don't touch, the sky and the ground don't touch. Right? Like, so here. Let's see. Anyway, that's why we're working on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's
That's
see.
it again.
I think that looks pretty. So remember to draw this line across here before they meet,
before they meet.
because the end of the road comes before the 2 point that everything meets in the vanishing point.
Okay.
Right? Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, let's see.
I'm sending you a new one.
You know you have to flip it. I won't
Yep.
look at it. You gotta flip it. Let's see. Paul, it's too wobbly. This is basically a straight edge shot from here to here. And this line you have down here, it should be up here. So erase this, the road, erase your two road lines and redraw them. This line, this is located at the right, and in fact, actually this, well, this can probably come, this needs to be straight. And this needs to be up higher.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. For those of you who are there, who have their road, I want you to start sketching out some of these light shapes that I've outlined. These are the things that you're not gonna paint. You're gonna keep white. At least at first. Can everybody see this? I'll bring this down just a little bit. So you can see it a little bit better. I'm drawing these white areas. White shapes, because I want those to stay white. Right. And then, of course, if you want to, you can also, let's see. I'd also like you to sketch in here and here. Right, you can sketch those in as well. That looks really good. See, I put it up a little too high. So notice, I'm not necessarily doing this perfectly myself. It's easy for to make things too big or too small. I'm just gonna kind of bring that back here. And then here's the horizon. So there's another line. This is kind of wobbly. And then here, you can draw your straight vertical lines as well. And then this one. I'll send this across. It's a little hard to see.
Yeah, and can you look at mine, Leah, just the beginning?
Give me just a second and I will.
Okay.
Yes, let me do that. Let me, I just want to take a picture of my sketch so that you guys can see it, and then I will. Alrighty. Sending this over. Okay, Lisa, I'll take a look. Let's see. This is way, you've got your horizon line at the wrong place. It's too high. If you'll notice your this eye level horizon line here, which
Yeah.
is line, it's way lower than halfway,
Okay.
right?
Well, yes, I definitely put it at halfway.
Yeah, you should never, ever put the eye level horizon at halfway. Ever, 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 ever. Never, ever do that. Because it's a very, you see how it flattens the composition? So this is just a.
Yes, I know that from photography. You don't put
Right.
it in
So
the middle.
don't ever put the horizon line, ever, 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 ever. Put the horizon line there. You'll just, it's just a good rule to see. And notice why we do, it's so funny when we do it anyway. It's like, what? But as a general rule of thumb, that's like how it works. All right, let's see. Did anybody else send me anything? We may only even get to the drawing part. I'm totally okay with that. Although I bet you we'll get a little bit of color in here. We'll get a little bit. But we're not in a rush, right? For those of you who can see some of the other, let's see. I'm sketching in some of the light, mediums, and darks. You don't have to sketch in every bit of the tree, for example, just the kind of darkest edges. And darker. There is this light sign here. Things are lighter and darker. I'm kind of sketching in some of the lights and darks. So those who are ready to go ahead can do that. Once again, I think I'm gonna take a picture of this because it'll be easier to see if I take a picture. Oh yeah, much easier. Mhm. I'm sending it over with all the little red line sketches so you can see the shapes between light, medium, and dark that you can sketch in. So if you're having trouble seeing this, it is true, my phone's not fabulous. I'll be getting a new one, but not for a while. Phone camera's only okay. You can start to sketch in some of these other things. The first thing I know is that I'm going to be erasing, once I get these lines established correctly, I'm going to be erasing them from here back. My tree, it comes in here. Without going into too much detail. See, I'm not doing everything. I am sketching in the little pieces. And my fence, gets here, comes up a little bit. No. It's farther away. Actually, I'm going to start with the more simple dark shapes that kind of come along here. Then my first fence post here is my second one, and there's definitely a white sign there. Yeah, so like I said, guys, don't worry. Also, this fence is a little bit more natural. It's a little bit less even. Same with these lines. They're pretty loose. And here we've got this kind of nice, bright light area. Kind of next to a slightly darker area. Here as well. That's a light area. It's kind of medium. It should be. Notice I really haven't done very much of the tree. Just enough to get the kind of base in place. And then let's see if there's this thing happening. Face this. Definitely the lightest parts here are the sky and the road. I mean, it still looks halfway to me, Lisa. Have you not photographed it? I think it still needs to come down further. Come down further. Why are you so shy with this? Why are you fighting it? You're like inching, you're like kind of inching down, like by.
No, no,
at
I think you're, oh, I don't know, maybe you're seeing the previous line, but I moved it like this much.
Yeah, it needs to come down more than that. I see the previous line. It still needs to come down more than that. There needs to be, look at how much sky is here. You need room for the tree, you need room for the sky. You need a lot of room for the sky. More room for this guy. Bring it down a little bit more. I'm gonna one more time turn this off and send mine over. All right. I've just sent over where mine is. Don't worry, you guys, if we only get to the drawing, this is fine. Rollo is so funny. Sob. So funny. We're gonna be working with this. If this goes, I think this is going to be a pretty good exercise. And if it goes, if we do it well, we're gonna do it once or twice, we're gonna work on it in a couple of different forms. So we'll also get, don't worry, we're gonna spend time with this imagery because I think it's really pretty and I think it will, some practice with it will be helpful.
Is anybody talking? Because I can't hear.
No, I think everybody's just zoned. I think
Okay.
We're all concentrating very hard.
it's really great.
I just keep erasing and erasing.
It's okay. It's okay. I did send over a picture of this so you can look at it on the thread. If you want to get a sense of what the color should be looking like. God, I thought the iris was hard.
Yeah.
It's all hard in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, that was so funny.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I put my tree in the right place. I'm just gonna take a picture
I
of it.
had a little trouble. Yeah, take a break, step away from it.
Yeah, I'll just show
I'm
you.
gonna send, once again, I'm gonna forward the picture. Let's see.
I'm just sending you mine just to get an idea.
These are looking good. You know what, you guys, these are looking great.
There's so many
Terrific.
erased
Oh, wait, let me
ones.
send mine.
Terrific.
I think I moved the tree 3 times. But
Yeah, it's a little hard to see it. And so take a break, step away
Okay.
from it,
Okay.
step away from it, get a little drink of water. Look at it from far away. These look great. Jonathan and Paula's, both of yours look pretty good. I'm gonna send over, because I have it, the color version, so you can, because sometimes it's easier to look at the color version. I'm gonna send this back over the thread. So you can kind of see here. Here is where this is. I'm gonna send it down. So you can kind of see, it's a little easier to see. And here's the black and white without all my markings on it. No, there we go. There's the black and white. Paul, okay, let's see here. Not bad. This does not come below the road.
Oh, yeah, that didn't look right.
Yeah, that doesn't look right. So also these should be farther apart.
The telephone pole. Yeah, yeah, I did that last time too.
Oh.
Yeah, step away from it, take a look back, get back to it. I just sent you, compare it to the two pieces I just sent to you. You know, a little bit easier to see with the color version, what's going on in places. And then I do think we might get a little bit, not a ton, but a little tiny bit down. I'm gonna use. Okay, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of, I'm gonna use actually the paper, this paper that was this on the other side. I'm gonna use it for my testing paper. And I'm gonna clean this up because it's quite dirty right now. So I'm gonna go wash this out. So if you have a palette that's a little bit dirty, might be a good moment. Take some time and run a little water over it. Okay, what time are we at? 7:37. Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. Everybody want to stop? You can keep working on your drawing. You don't have to start painting yet. But I'm going to talk about how we're going to paint this. We are going to mix a gray. So my suggestion, because I think it's going to be easiest, is to mix. Special brush. Here we go. Here's my favorite magic brush. Is to mix ultramarine blue. Is that ultramarine blue? Yes. Maybe that's not ultramarine blue. Actually, that looks like phthalo blue. Here, hang on. It's to mix ultramarine blue. Actually, I'm just going to put some more on just so I know I have it. Ultramarine. Yep. There's ultramarine. I'm going to take a bit of ultramarine blue. So my brush is, yeah, there we go. It's this kind of purpley blue. And then a little bit of burnt umber, which is that dark brown. Mix them together until they make something that kind of looks like a pretty gray. So we're going to work with ultramarine blue and brown in this iteration. Unless you get excited and want to mix your own gray. You can mix it from purple and yellow. You can mix it from blue and orange. That's essentially what we're doing here. Burnt umber is like the orange. Blue is the blue. And I'm going to start, and I might just do this, right? In the darkest areas, fairly lightly. So I'm not doing anything in the road. And I'm going to have to keep mixing this. I'm going to have to keep pulling over brown and blue. Every time I do it, I might get a slightly different mix, which is okay, but I don't want this to look too blue or too brown. Notice I'm not doing the whole tree, just these sort of bottom dark branches. Maybe there. I just want to kind of stabilize it. But I need to get more blue and more brown. I'm testing before I lay my color down.
Did you say burnt umber or burnt sienna?
Burnt umber.
You're using burnt umber and which blue?
Ultramarine.
Okay.
Because ultramarine is a very warm blue, so it kind of mimics like, sort of earthy colors.
Okay.
I think this is so this is as far as we might go. Maybe we'll go a little bit further. And it's already looking kind of cool because we have our perspective lines down. Look at how quickly, as you start to add darks, the shapes begin to interact. And I think I'm going to all the way up here. Down here. This is a little bit lighter. And let's see. I'm working around the sign. That's it. Oh. Wow. So this makes, I think, one of my favorite grays, this color. Maybe in a little bit here. And a little bit here. So if you're going a little slower, do not worry about that. Don't stress. You can just focus on the drawing this time. We're not going to go much farther than this in this painting. We're going to pick it up next week. And you can see that as my darks dry, they get lighter. So I'm going to be layering darker colors on top. if you want to, you can do a very light layer, like a super light. You can see, you can make it light by swooshing your brush around in the paint and then dipping it in water and testing it. And you can kind of lightly paint around the white shapes. That you've drawn into the road, but it should be very light. It shouldn't be like darker than, I don't know. Two, value, maybe 2.5. Even that. Notice that you can move your brush this way, horizontal or vertical, or kind of angled, and it will all kind of create kind of neat patterns. Let's see. I'm not going to go any further than this today. There we go. Oh, good, Lisa. There we go. Now you're starting to get there. You got it. I like your light reflections. They're happening. Those are lovely. Good job, you guys. Work for another 10 minutes, then we're gonna drop it after that. Look at how if you get your values right, how even in this early stages of the painting, there's a little something happening. You've got a little something going on, even without detail. Let's see, he does have a kind of a strong dark edge here. It helps kind of define the edge of the road. We're going to get much darker, but we don't want to do that until we know we have all our other values. Now, wherever you're at, take a look at yours, Paul. Oh yeah, it's coming along nicely, Paul. All right, so wherever you're at, I want you to stop. I'm removing the spotlight. I want you to hold up your piece, just wherever it is.
Oh, hold on. I have a few wet spots I need to dry.
Right. Good job, guys. This is great. This is great. I want you to stop right where you are. I know you're going to be tempted to go on. I mean, if you want to, you can, but I'm going to recommend that we work on this together.
Okay.
So if you really get excited, go ahead. We're going to draw it again because we're going to paint it again in color next week after we finish with the black and white. So just like keep work. So Lisa, you can finish the drawing. If you want to jump in, if not, you can just stop until next week. But I recommend stopping just because, like, I mean, I don't know, like, because I think there'll be some value in us going through it together. However, if you're dying for assignments, I will send you a picture of this book. You can get it. And you can try stuff on your own. Absolutely. There's nothing that would like stop you from doing that. So let me take a picture of it now. How's everybody feel, by the way? By the way, how do you feel now?
Great.
It's kind of beautiful. They're kind of beautiful, aren't they?
Once you
Yeah.
add the paint, it looks totally different.
Yeah, once you add the color in, like
Mhm.
the pencil drawing feels weird.
Mhm.
And once you add just a few dark shapes, notice how the whole thing just explodes. It's very simple, right? What he does is very simple. Notice how you feel. You know, I'll start trying to do this at the beginning of class. It's a good idea at the beginning of class to write just 1 or 2 words about how you feel when you come into class. And it can be shitty. It can be crazy. It can be hectic. It can be frustrated. It can be tired. It can be, I'm feeling great. I'm excited. You know, it can be anything. Then I want you to notice what happens after 2 hours.
Okay.
And see if that word changes. Has anybody noticed a change since how they felt at the beginning of class?
I always feel calm.
Yeah. You said that, I believe that. And this is your calm day, right? So you have a moment to like kind of it's like seems to help the decompression, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Your brain focuses on this and you don't think about all the other stuff that you got going on in your life.
And then at the end of it, even though you're kind of pushing yourself a little harder than is comfortable,
Mhm.
you're more focused,
It's
right?
totally-
Everybody
Nice
is a
to
little bit.
do less of the drawing and just paint, yeah, you know, but because that's like the nice part.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, drawing is hard, but you know, if you don't have the drawing, you can't really paint. So that's part of the process. Even the drawing should be feeling a little, we did a lot of drawing this time because I really wanted us to work on this idea of how vanishing points work and how we can incorporate them into our landscapes. So we will work with this, but also what I think is really amazing about this piece is that his shapes are very simple, but his contrast is huge, is really fabulous. And this is in a section called creating a mood.
Mhm.
It is a great word for like creating like a, you know, a mood, an experience. So anyway, guys, great work today as always. You're doing wonderful. And we'll pick it up next week.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Same
you.
time, same bat channel. Great
Everybody.
work, everybody. Wonderful
Bye.
work. Bye.
Bye.